metrics and all the other tools that are available for us to check the data um, on certain videos. It's pretty crazy. Like videos with bad sound have a lot less. You can have an amazing video. The quality can be awesome and everything can be right, but if the sound is bad, that's the number one thing that that affects the um, that affects your viewership on that. And so make sure that your audio is good. And ways that you can do that is, and there's been this debate about whether, external mics are better. Is the iPhone just as good as external mics? And there are some external mics that are pretty horrible. And we'll send you guys a link of all the mics if you want. But I realize some of you have been doing this for a long time. So just bear with us because there are some that this could really help. But anyway, Rode makes an amazing mic for video. And I think they have one that's like $99. But there are some mics that you can buy on Amazon that are really good and some that are really, really horrible. And you are better off using your iPhone. So make sure that the audio is good, because you can also, the data shows that the video can be a little glitchy, but if the audio is good, then it's awesome, and the fans will be fine with it with bad video. But lighting is also a big deal. And for me, like right now, there's lighting, and I don't mean the lighting behind me, but to my right, there's the light, and they call it a key light, and actually that's the name of the light, is a key light. But also the placement and that light itself would be a key light. That's your key light, obviously, why they call it that. And then to the left is a fill light. And so anyway, just having two cheap LED lights, one to the right, one to the left, and not directly on your face, makes a big, big difference in lighting. And you can get those lights for like $20 up to, I don't know, $200. So, and when we're talking about some of this stuff, it does cost money. Like for $300, you may have a full setup. Mic wise, I use a mic called a Shure MV88, and it's only for iPhones. So if you have an Android, they're coming out with something like that soon. But the MV88 is an amazing mic. It's the best one that I've used, and I believe me, I got a like a whole bag full of mics that I've been trying. And some of you that follow me on Facebook or whatever, you see I'm trying out all this stuff and messing with all this stuff. And unfortunately, it's cost me a lot of money to find the right stuff that actually works. And it was usually not the most expensive stuff. So anyway, it's important to make sure that you have just even one light is fine. Even if you just have a key light, make sure you have that and good sound. Looking your best, dude. I can't tell you, and some of you can vouch for this, or I've looked horrid on a live feed, man, where I just jumped on live feed without even thinking. And, and I try to go real quick to the bathroom and stick my hair up in a mohawk, and it wasn't really a mohawk at all. It looked like something RuPaul would wear, you know what I mean? And so anyway, I look back on some of these feeds, and I've been doing live feeds literally since they came out, since it became an option on Facebook. And so I've made a lot of mistakes along the way. And I've also seen how my streams are and how the views are based on content. And so anyway, I've also not looked my best and said something that actually had a viral moment. It's usually something controversial, but had a viral moment. And that viral moment had me looking messed up. You know what I mean? And so that's, when we're doing a Facebook Live and you guys are doing a song and you have the best, performance you've ever had in your life, and you're like, dude, that thing sounded amazing. That song's never sounded that good acoustic. And then all of a sudden you're like, oh, dude, but I was wearing this shirt that, said whatever on it, or I didn't, man, I wish I would have changed, or I wish I would have done my hair or whatever. It takes a few minutes to do it. And I'm going to be the first to admit that I don't always do that, but I also know my audience, and I've been doing this for a long, long time to build the audience that I have. And so there are people that haven't even heard 7 Day Summer, but they know me from my live stream. So anyway, Jen, anything you want to add to that?
Nope, I'm all set.
Kristen?
No, I think I'm good.
All right. Okay, yeah, Facebook Live, the timing. So There's a lot of questions at the timing, and with Jen, she knows, she looks at all of you guys, all of your analytics. She knows when the best time for you guys to go live is, when the best time to post is, and all that. But at the same time, posting is different. Not I've looked at the analytics too, and there were times where you've got to be aware of your surroundings and what's going on. This is completely different. We're, you know, in a quarantine. So we're locked down, and there's a lot of people that are available. But remember, everybody's fighting for everybody's stream as well now. Like they're wanting their stream to be the one that people see, but there's so many streams on there, and so there's some really, really important things that that we need to know when you're going live. Not only does your audio need to be on point and your lighting need to be decent, and you need to look decent, but also at the beginning of your stream, don't wait for people to join before you do anything. A lot of people are watching on the replay. How many times have you guys gone live? And for those of you that haven't gone live too much, then you know you probably don't know much about this. But it'll be 2 weeks later, and all of a sudden it'll be like, dude, give me a shout out. And it's like, bro, that was 2 weeks ago. I'm not live right now. It's because most of your views are going to come from the replay. And you want to put your best foot forward, because remember, you are fighting for someone's time. And there are other live streams out there, in, you know, especially where we're at right now. Another thing to remember is that and I don't know if you guys knew this or not, but right now streams aren't up, they're down. And you would think that streams would be up. You know, everybody's home, they have time to, but you know, people listen to Spotify at work or at the gym or wherever they're at, and so at home streams are down pretty bad right now. I think they're down by about 6%. But check this out: over the past year, revenue from video content, so revenue from video streaming, and I'll tell you, we'll get to that in a minute, but revenue from video content over the past year is up 28%. Okay. Over the past 2 weeks, 7% of that 28% over the past 2 weeks. So you're talking about 7% revenue from video content just over the past 2 weeks. So, but at the same time, everybody is on there. As a matter of fact, I have a couple of different webcams and cameras and different things like that, and software and things to do to go live and stream. But I wanted to get a new camera, and so I went to Electronic Express. I went to Best Buy. I practiced all of my social distancing practices, but I went to all of them, and I could not find a web camera anywhere. Like Best Buy said, we're completely sold out. Everybody's getting one, and you see it. And so once again, everybody is live, and you're having to fight for your feed to stand out. And so you don't have to put on a bunny costume like people on Twitch do or whatever else. But man, it's important to start off with a song. What I would encourage you to do is start off with a song, and to make sure that it's a song that you know is one of your catchier songs. So you're going to catch someone's ear right away, because once again, most of your views are on the replay. Keep it less than an hour. So 28 minutes is a perfect amount of time to be live if you're going to do like a concert or whatever. But you also got to know your audience. There are some of you that can be on for an hour and a half, and people are going to hang with you the whole hour and a half. But for the majority of people, 28 minutes is a good time to be on. It just starts getting really, really awkward. And so anyway, have a format as well. Make sure that before you go on, you already know what you're going to do, whether it's, hey, I'm going to do this catchy song first, then we're going to talk a little bit about the next song, then we'll do the next song or whatever. But have some kind of format before you even go on. It'll help you in a big, big way. Another thing that's important to know, and I don't know if you knew this about Facebook, but have you ever done a Facebook Live and it was a stupid thumbnail that they put up? that they chose, that's happened to me a million times. And I'll put Lori on the live feed sometimes, and it'll always be a picture that she can't stand, and it uses her. When I was on the live feed for a whole hour, she was on there for literally 2 minutes, and it's a picture she can't stand, and that's the thumbnail. And back in the day, you couldn't change that thumbnail. Now you can. So use your Facebook creator, or I guess it's not called creator anymore. I don't know what it's called now, but use that, or you get in on your desktop and you can change the length of your Facebook streams. You can go in and edit. You can't edit in the middle of it. You can trim the beginning and you can trim the end. And I'm going to tell you a really cool thing that's important to know. Here's what I would do. First of all, go in there and find the thumbnail that you want. Make sure your thumbnail is on point. If you do all these, I promise you, we've seen this work. This isn't just something I saw on YouTube. Like, we're really doing this. We're really seeing this stuff happen. And so, as a matter of fact, with Brooke's release right now, we've given her a whole marketing plan. She has done every single thing that we had her do. Same thing with Random Hero. Did every single thing that we had them do, from their social media plan to all the different things that we did, the giveaways and all this and all that. And we saw the numbers shoot up. We're watching it in real time. And with Brooke, we're watching it in real time. She charted at 16 on iTunes when there's 40,000 releases per day on iTunes, and so and a ton of Christian releases per day, and she charted at 16. And we know this because she has amazing music, but she also did all the things that we asked her to do. And with social media, there are a lot of cool new things that we've learned along the way that when the protests first started, we weren't hip to those things, and so we've really worked hard to study a lot of those things now. But there's also different software that you can use, from Ecamm Live, which is only available for Mac. So if you have a Mac, Ecamm Live is a great software that allows you to put cool overlays and different things like that. Twitch is now partnered with Bands in Town. I don't know if you guys knew that. You probably did, but if you didn't, Bands in Town is now partnered with Twitch. You can go live from Bands in Town, but you have to have 2,000 followers on Twitch. OBS is another that's open broadcast software. OBS is what a lot of people use to go live on Twitch, but you can also use it to go live in other places. Be Live, Restream. You can restream on. You can even go live on LinkedIn now. So you can go live there. StreamYard is another one. Stage 10, and there's a bunch of different ones, from cloud-based to having the software actually on your computer. Which, by the way, having the software on your computer or on your phone can regulate the stream. So it gives you and your viewers a better experience when it's on your computer. So that's, those are really important things. But what I was going to say real quick before I forget, and then I'll get to Jen and Kristen. Here's something that's really cool that you could do. Pick the song that you're going to start with, but also if you have another really cool song that you would like to also release later, I would say to go ahead and get your live feed going, have your format out, and put another really cool song. Maybe you want to play a song no one's ever heard before. Put that towards the end of your live feed, or a couple of songs towards the end. And then what you can do is you can save the live feed to your phone. A lot of you guys know that. You can also go in and download the live feed. You can only download it at 720p if you haven't saved it to your phone after the live feed. And some of you may go, oh man, I don't have enough storage. Well, that's okay, because once you share it on live feed, you can download it. Take advantage of the download option. Download your live stream. If you went live and did a cool concert, you were excited, you had the vocals were sounding good, the mics were sounding good, you can download that and go ahead and edit it and release a song later. Release a cool song down the road. But also on IG, you can only be on there for 24 hours, but you can release your Facebook Live on IGTV. And so we'll get to that in just a second. Jen, you have anything you want to add to it?
Yeah, I would just say to remember that you only have a few seconds to catch people's attention. And because most of the views will happen in the replay, that's why it's important to start with a song to grab those viewers' attention so they'll stay and watch the video.
Kristen?
No, y'all covered it.
Okay, cool. Move to the next one. Once again, there's not a lot of slides, so there's not a lot of slides, so you don't have to, worry about how long it's going to take. We're getting there. So making money on Facebook. Making money on Facebook is actually a pretty difficult thing to do because, right now people are going through it. They're going through the same thing that we're going through. A lot of people have already lost their jobs as well, and so people don't have money, but people still want to support their favorite artists. People know that tours have been canceled. People know that the music industry has taken a big hit, and so there are ways for you to make money on Facebook Live or to have people support you. But it's all also about the ask and the heart. So the ask is really, really important. Don't ask for money right away. I was just on a live feed the other day, and the first thing they did was like, "Hey, dude, we got tips. You can put tips right now." They had the link posted. They had a sign that's had their Venmo account, had their whatever. You couldn't even read the sign. It was written in like pink marker and highlighter, and it was supposed to look pretty and cute or whatever, and you couldn't even read it. And so all you see is then there's like a coffee can. I've seen somewhere the coffee can is there, and all the different on top of someone's keyboard there's a coffee can that says tips and has the information for their Venmo. Man, a lot of people just turn off right away. And I'm not saying everybody, but some people just have a tacky way of asking for money. And so just want to encourage you, don't let that be the first thing that you do is ask for money. Let people get to know who you are, because as they get to know you and you're getting to know them and you're having a good time, it could be somewhere in the middle. You've played a song and you've talked about that song and talked about why you wrote it, and someone's like, "Man, that was deep. That was deep." And then you can say, "Hey guys, by the way, if you'd like, we have a way that you can tip us, donate to us, or whatever. And we know you guys are going through it too, but we're gonna make this available for you." And so you can pin that of Venmo or PayPal. Those are obviously two names that everybody knows, and Cash App. So you can do that, but once again, do not do it at the beginning of your live stream. And I know that when people get involved in what you're doing, they want to help. They want to maybe tell a little story about a tour that got canceled, and say it in a way that's not like, "Hey, poor us," because people are really struggling as well. Merchandise, obviously, you can put a link and say, "Hey, we got some shirts available." You guys know all of this, but it's just really important how you wouldn't believe how many bands that have been doing this for 15 years that go on and just be like, "Hey, you need to donate right now, man. We need your help." And it's just like, dude, man, get to know them first, man. But anyway, yeah, the wording needs to be right. So when you do ask, make sure that that the words, or that the way that you say it is right. If you haven't been live in a while, or at all, don't ask for money. Don't let that be the first thing you do, because people are like, "Dude, and I ain't seen this guy in a hot minute or this girl in a hot minute," and now they just jump on and they're asking for money right now. And so it's now, if you're doing a concert, it's different. I'm talking about if you just jump on and which I've seen that quite a bit lately. But putting up your merch or putting up doing a post about merch, I mean, we did that and it was really cool. We had a great response. We had a couple people going, "Dude, what are you doing asking for money in a time like this?" And I'm like, well, we're offering our merchandise. But you'll have a few people like that. But for the most part, not really. Jen.
Nope, I'm all set.
Okay, Kristen.
I was just gonna say, when it comes to either your live videos or if you're making a post or something, I'm more than happy to help with like the wording and the phrasing of things. I'm no Mary Nickel by any means, but I'm available and I can help with that if you need some assistance there.
And so, as many of you know, probably all of you, Jen handles. She's the operations manager at Nashville Label Group, you know, and so she handles all the social media plans, and she's worked with just about all of you, and she does an amazing job putting together these plans. But we have seen them work in real time. We're seeing these links in real time, like the spike, and then we see it when we're not active. And trust me, we're on everybody's sound scan. We're looking at everybody's chart metrics. Jen keeps data of all of your Spotify, Instagram, everything. And so we can see when things are working and when they're not working. So we know that this works. And this is all stuff that a lot of you know, but it's important that right now we use this to connect with our fans, because, we have this unique opportunity. It's really a messed up situation that we're all in. But if we don't look at it that way, if we look at it a way to connect with our fans and reach our fans, man, this is building a fan base that will stay with you forever. These are people that will support you. And a lot of you have people that already support you, and that's awesome. But for those of you that don't, doing these things isn't just because I think it's a cool thing to do or because we want to do a PowerPoint and be like, oh man, I already knew that. Well, at the end of the day, implement them, and you will see them work. I'm telling you right now, we're seeing it right now, and we've seen it with each one of you at a point in time. And so we've got some cool things that we're doing as well that we're going to be talking with each artist on. I know some of you, we've already reached out to you. Random Hero reached out, The Persuaded, and a few others. So we've got some cool things that we're doing with you guys at this point, where this is all going to be things that we're really going to, we're going to be asking you to do. Next one. So Instagram, yeah, this is really, really cool. We're seeing a lot of data as well. And once again, not just with our artists, but bringing on fans to your Instagram. It's like when I think about when, I'm seeing everybody going on Instagram Live, and it's a lot of celebrities bringing on other celebrities. And I remember when Aaron brought on, I can't remember the gentleman, the wrestler, but brought him on, and it like raised the Instagram viewers in a big way. And that's really, really awesome. But one thing we forget is and right now you're seeing celebrities bring on other celebrities, trying to get those numbers up in one, in that 5-minute period. Let's see how high we can get the numbers up. There's been some really funny Instagram lives lately. Some have been funny to watch and cool and that kind of thing. But one thing that we forget is that that you have, if you bring fans on, and obviously it can be kind of risky to bring fans on because you don't know what they're going to say, but people understand that, and so it's this is the culture that we live in. But bringing on fans and addressing them by name, say, hey, thanks Michael for coming on the live feed. Asking them their favorite song may not be the best thing to do, because then if they aren't that familiar with you and they don't have a favorite song, it just gets awkward for you and probably for them. But giving them a shout out and bringing them on, they're reposting that. Not only are their friends, and then maybe they only have 200 friends, or they may have 2,000 friends, but bringing them on is so important, because they are reposting that, man. Dude, so and so, Jared from the protest gave me a shout out, man. Firefly gave me a shout out. Dude, it's so important. And as you continue to do that, you're building, and every single one of these things that we're talking about adds up. All of this little stuff, every bit of this little stuff adds up. I know it does. And once again, we're seeing the data. Look up the hashtags. So there's been a few issues, not with you guys, but we don't want you to run into that. But look up the hashtags before you post them. make sure they're going to what you think they're going to. Don't just put a hashtag up because it was on somebody else's and they got a bunch of views. Use 28, as I know you're allowed 30, I think it is on Instagram. Use 28. Facebook hashtags don't really matter, but I mean, you can put them on there. Just usually when I see hashtags on someone's Facebook, I'm like, and we've done it. We've checked the data. And so we've actually looked at the data, and on Facebook it doesn't matter. Obviously Instagram it does. Facebook it doesn't. It just looks kind of like, just looks like a lot on Facebook. But on Instagram, I would say use 28 hashtags, and 30 is the max. But I wouldn't take any chance with going right up to the limit for anything happening on a post that you have. So 28 hashtags is cool, but check your hashtags, man. Don't end up sending somebody somewhere. We've all Googled something and it took us to a place that I say we've all watched. Some of y'all been like, that's never happened to me. I'm like, okay, well maybe that's just me. But anyway, make sure you check your hashtags. Also on your hashtags, don't pick the one that has 4 million views. Man, 4 million followers on the hashtag or whatever else. Like that may seem like the right thing to do in theory, but it's not. And neither is picking the one that has 800. So find something that has 40,000, 100,000, 200,000. But when you start picking hashtags that have millions, you're just getting lost in the middle of it. Try to find you a hashtag that's popular, but not too popular. It'll really help you on your hashtags. And so take it to the third point. Post your live video on Instagram. So we talked about doing Facebook and posting, but I see a lot of artists that are only doing stories, and I'm like, man, you're never posting on your Instagram. Or I'm seeing artists that are deleting all of their pictures that they have, and you'll only see one picture. And what it does is it may look cool, but it gives the fans the impression that you don't post. It gives the fans the impression that nobody's home. You know what I mean? And so delete the pictures you don't want on there. That's fine. I get it. There's a lot of posts that I probably have over the years that I probably need to go back and delete. You know what I mean? And so, so you can clean it up, but make sure that there is content on there on your Instagram. So people, when they go there, are like, man, all right, cool. So-and-so post, they're active, they're doing stuff. Instagram TV, not television, Instagram TV. I feel old. Yeah, I was taping that the other day, man. But Instagram TV is really, really amazing. It's a really useful tool that there's a lot of people that aren't using that when they should be. And of course, there's a lot of people using Instagram TV. It's a big deal. But I'm surprised at how many artists aren't using Instagram TV. And for those of you that don't know, it allows you to post longer videos, and you can still put a 1 minute video of the 3 minute video that you're posting. You can put that 1 minute video as a teaser clip on your Instagram. So then when that 1 minute's over, they can click on it and it takes them to the rest of your content. And so if you record on Facebook Live and you do a cool concert for 28 minutes, you're excited about it and people were interacting and you felt like you were playing well, download that like we talked about. Download it from Facebook. Once again, I don't know why they don't allow you to download it in 1080p, but you can on your phone if you download it when it gives you that option. But after that, maybe there is. Maybe you guys can look that up. But either way, download it, post it to Instagram TV, and get a cool thumbnail, and all that stuff matters. All of this stuff matters, and when you do it, I'm telling you, those numbers are changing. Jen.
I would say when you are having fans come on your Instagram Live with you, encourage them to take a screenshot and actually pose for a quick picture, because then that's something that they really will want to post, because it's almost like a legit picture with you there. So that's just something cool that you can do.
Kristen?
No, I think that's it.
All right, cool. So we got a couple more slides left. But these are just general tips that can help you. I don't know. A lot of you probably remember this, but there was a time in on Facebook where when people liked your Facebook, like Fireflight has what 240,000 like followers and likes on Facebook. So or I think their followers are pretty close to their likes, which is really, really amazing, because you'll see people with a bunch of likes and not followers. And so you'll see and that was something 7-Day Slumber took a lot of took a lot of pride in, like building our Facebook followers, because we could have direct access to them. There was a time when you had direct access to your Facebook followers. And so if Fireflight posts something, or the letter black is posting something, or whoever else is posting something, those people see it. Now that has changed. Now Facebook's decided that you need to pay for your fan, the people that have sought you out, found your Facebook. You got to pay for your own fans to see your content. And the more you pay, the more your fans get to see it. And sure, you can target other people's fans and you can target other audiences and all that kind of stuff. But Facebook determines whether or not your fans get to see the content that you posted. And every one of us have had an issue where we're going, man, I know Facebook is choking this. And so anyway, this is why pushing people to your website is so important. And we think about websites nowadays is as kind of obsolete, like website. And there's so many artists that have their website URL pointing to their Facebook, which we've done that too. But it's so important to point people to your website, even when you're on live stream. When you're on live stream, because remember, right now your live streams are not choked. Okay. But who knows? Who knows when Facebook's going to make a decision? And we've already heard some talk already that who knows when Facebook's going to make a decision that you can pay before you go live in order to reach your audience. That so right now they're not choking it, but who knows when that time comes that they go, you know what, you got to pay in order to reach your own audience. So if you pay $20 up front before you go live, you're going to reach X amount. If you pay $50 up front before you go live, you're going to reach X amount. And so that's why it's so important that right now, while you're not being choked, your content is not being choked while you're on live, to be pushing people to your website, because Facebook has, no hold over your website. Neither does Instagram, neither does Twitter. And we all know that those aren't shutting down anytime soon, but they can determine how many people see your content and who actually sees your content. So not only how many people, but actually who sees your content. So be pushing people to your website. Now, when people go to your website, make sure that you don't have pop-ups all over the place. That is a big, big turnoff, man. People can't stand that. It's important that you own your own, that you have the ability to adjust the content, or to change the content is what I meant to say. It's important that you have the ability to change the content that's on your website. We, even with
7-Day Slumber,
I'm not even able to, I need to take my own advice, because right now I have someone that does my website, and he's easy to get a hold of. I've worked with him for 10 years. So he'll change things if I call him. But for all of us, that isn't the case. And I know with Random Hero, Rob does, he's really good at all that stuff. And I don't know about everybody else and your HTML skills or, web design skills, but it's so important to either have someone really, really close to you that is not going to shut down tomorrow or isn't hard to get a hold of. You need to have someone who is able to change it. There's if you don't know about Bandzoogle, make sure that you go check out bandzoogle.com. And so remember, there will be links to all of this. And if you want a copy of what we just talked about today, I can also get that to you. But Bandzoogle is an amazing platform for people. I mean, there people use WordPress and people use
that Google, as in like Z, or Google?
Bandzoogle with a Z.
Gotcha.
So bandzoogle.com, you can create a website so easy, but a lot of industry folks are telling, a lot of labels are telling their bands to, use those that don't have 360 deals, because a lot of artists have 360 deals now where the label actually just owns the website and all that kind of stuff. But a lot of these labels are using Bandzoogle with a Z. So they're using that. There's a lot of tools on Bandzoogle that are amazing, and they're easy to use. The Variety Tour is a Bandzoogle. If you go to the varietytour.com, it's a Bandzoogle. Now, we didn't do a whole lot there. It's just a quick one pager. But you don't need a lot of content on your website, but at the same time, be pushing people to your website. And you do want to collect an email. Just don't let it be the first thing they see. When they go to your website, the first thing they want to see is you. They want to see you. They want to hear your music. They want to know what's new, what's going on. They don't want to be popped up like, hey, give me your email. Give me your email. Hey, dude, did you hear me yet? Hey, man, can I get your email yet? Boom, boom, boom. Hey, email. That bugs people. And so it's important that you do have a way to get people's email. But here's the way that I would do it. I would have some content. Like, let's just say, well, we just recently did this with Random Hero, so I can use Random Hero as an example. But we just released an acoustic EP, and all we did was take the record that they already recorded and added some acoustic to it. Kellen McGregor was kind enough to do that, and we had a really cool acoustic EP. It boosted their streams like crazy. So we're seeing the streams still going up on on SoundScan, or we were until a couple of weeks ago when all this happened, and then everybody's streams were down except for a couple of our artists that are still active on social media. We can see that those artists that are still active on social media, their streams have not gone down. And once again, I have to use Brooke because we've just released her. I'm not singling her out. I'm just saying we're in the middle of her release right now, and it's nuts. I mean, this campaign is nuts, and what's going on with her is amazing. But her streams are going up as opposed to going down because there's so much activity on social media right now. But anyway, with Random Hero, we released the EP, right? So another thing that Random Hero could do, and we're commemorating 8 weeks at #1. Congratulations, by the way, guys. But we were commemorating 8 weeks at #1. So, but on a website, it would be really cool for Random Hero to go and offer a free download of a song that we already released. And so you can say, hey, thanks for coming. We want to give you a free download. Click here. And so you're not asking for an email right off the bat. You're not asking for a pop-up that's popping up, a thing that's popping up that's bugging people, but you're telling them, hey, we want to offer you something free, maybe a cool lyric booklet that has all your lyrics and something like that. But they click on it, and then it just asks for their email address at that moment. And so that's a cool way to get their email address. It's a cool way to do an ask without you're giving them something. You know what I mean? They'd be happy to write their email address in there, and don't ask for their address and all their credit card information and all these different things. Right now, you just want their email, so you have direct access. Whenever Facebook decides to choke you or choke your content, you can send an email out through MailChimp, or which a lot of people are using MailChimp, but also Constant Contacts is a really good one. Constant Contacts is a lot more expensive. And I think there's Mail Drip as well as another one. Maybe it's just called Drip. I don't know, but you'll have to look at that one. But that's another one. But a lot of people are using MailChimp. And anyway, you have direct access. People still check their email every single day. And so anyway, get their email address, but maybe just ask for a first name and the state. That helps you to, when you're getting ready to go tour, send out a blast just to Tennessee, just to Texas, just to Ohio. And so if you have the state and their first name, that's really, really cool. Moving on, for each song on your record, you should have 5 pieces of content, at least 5 pieces of content. And so when recording, take a picture of you writing lyrics or a notepad that has a half finished song, or you recording in the studio. Especially, look, right now, a lot of us are trying to find content to post if we're not going live. We're having to find content to post, and we're digging through old photos, and then we're doing throwback Thursdays that we've done 5 times already, or we're doing this picture or that picture. And right now we're going, man, I wish I would have been filming when I was in the studio. I wish I would have taken pictures of stuff, or I wish I would have, but also taking a picture of a notepad with a half written song and you're in the thing, you can sign that and later use it as a giveaway on a live stream. But make sure that you're doing not only a lyric graphic, but pictures of you singing in the studio, writing in the studio, behind the scenes, stuff out at, out on in everyday life, hanging out with, people love content of you doing everyday things as well. But for each song, make sure that you have at least 5 pieces of content, preferably 10. Jen, did I miss anything?
Nope. I would just want to remind everyone, like we said earlier, I can help you know when to post the content and make a social media plan, the best times and days and everything. So if you ever need help with that, feel free to reach out to me.
Kristen?
Just something really quick. A good rule of thumb, no matter if you're doing a live or a post or a picture, anything like that, the more that it matters to you, the more it's going to matter to your fans. So don't just expect to throw something up just because, it's time to post, whatever, I'll just throw this up really quick. If you don't care, then it's not going to inspire your fans to care. So make it matter to you. Like take time to think about something that's actually going to matter to them as well.
And also, this is so true. Fans know when you're just like, oh, I got a scheduled live at 7. I got a scheduled live at 6. Every Tuesday I got a scheduled. They know when it's just like part of, now it's, yeah, definitely schedule your lives and be prepared. But what I'm saying is be excited to be there, man. Like there's no point in doing it if you're not excited to do it. And what, you know, what we've the feedback that we've gotten as a label is how our bands care. So we've gotten a lot of that feedback, like how our bands care about the fans, and you guys really do. I mean, you're here right now hearing me talk about things that some of you already know, and at least some of you know the basics of it. But because you care about your fans and you care about being out there and being with them, and if you can't be out there, then here's a way for us to be able to navigate through this. But at the same time, you have a living to make as well, and I'm telling you that doing these things will change the game. It will change the game for you financially. It'll change the game for you. You will be able to tour. The people watching your lives are people that bring you in for concerts. It's not just fans that are watching you. You have promoters watching you. And so, they're seeing you interact. They're seeing how fun it is to be on your live because you planned it out properly, and they want to bring you in. So be excited about being there, be in a good mindset. Make sure your internet is good when you do it, because people are very unforgiving on that. So when it's cutting in and out and it's not looking good, people are like, they don't stay around. They don't stick around very long. But I'll tell you this, with Relent, we saw a rise in, and we check all of their stats with Relent. We saw a rise when they did a Rockfest takeover. So that was really cool. They did that thing amazing, and a big shout out to Relent. The way that you guys were posting content and taking, was it Miggy who did the cereal box? Reading the cereal box, and this is what I did today. And yeah, I read this cereal box. I read this cereal box. There was a lot of really funny content from all of you guys. The protest is about to do a Rockfest page takeover. I mean, what you put into it, once again, is what you're going to get out of it. If you're too rock star to do any of this, then I'm telling you right now, things don't end well, man. I've been doing this for almost 25 years, and so I don't have another job. This is what I do for a living every single day. And let me tell you, it ain't the label that pays for this. And I say this, I mean like a roof over my head. I don't live in a mansion, but I am able to make my house payment. I'm able to make a living doing this. I actually care about the people that I'm talking to every day, and I know you guys do. And that's why you're a part of Rockfest Records. You do care. That's why you're a part of True Breed and Burtonwood. And so you care about your fans, and they know it. So yeah, what you put in is what you get out. And if you're too cool for school, then it ain't gonna work out for you. I mean, this stuff ain't gonna work out for you because people know. They're gonna be like, this dude doesn't even want to be here, man. Like, whatever. So anyway, general tips. This is very, very, very important. And wow, okay, look. So once again, I keep going to analytics and data because that's what we have to measure whether this stuff really works or not. Like, we're really looking at every bit of it. We can see it in real time. And so anyway, responding to messages, comments, and using your hyperlink, but most importantly, responding to messages and comments is almost as important as the song that you wrote, okay? As the songwriting itself. I'm telling you the truth. People can have an amazing song, but if they haven't engaged their fans, that song's going nowhere. And then there are certain people where you're like, how's this band doing so good? Because they're engaged with their fans. And so the fans aren't necessarily that excited about the song. They're excited about the band who cares about them, who's, like taking the time to write them back. So messages, whether it's direct messages on Instagram or whether it's Messenger, or Twitter. Another thing I want to tell you is don't sleep on Twitter. Okay, I was just live on Twitter today, and Twitter is starting to Twitter Live is starting to really come around. So I don't sleep on Twitter, man. And I know it used to be Periscope. It was like Periscope, and that's so old school. But Twitter, you can go live directly from Twitter. Another thing, Restream.io. So if you don't remember to go live on Twitter, you can go live on Restream.io, and it'll take you. You can go live on all of it all at once, except for Instagram is the only one that you're not. There's no third party. Well, there is a workaround, but don't take a chance on losing your Instagram account. Okay, this is something that I forgot to tell you earlier, but I want to tell you now. Don't take a chance on losing your Instagram account. A lot of you have worked hard to build up those numbers on Instagram. Don't just try to find a workaround that Instagram is going to ban you and you lose your Instagram account. Eventually, very, very soon, there's going to be a software and apps that are going to allow you to go live on Facebook and Instagram at the same time. But right now, Restream.io allows you to do all the platforms except for Instagram. So you can go live on Twitter. And some of you saw me go live the other day or the past few days, and I was live on everything, different Facebook pages, even groups. Okay. So if you guys have certain groups, fan pages, you can go live on those as well on Restream. And look, you can go live free on a lot of these platforms, but if you're going to pay $19.99 a month, the worst thing you can do is to say $19.99 a month. The last thing I need is another bill, but we blow X amount of dollars on going to the movies every month, going out to eat every month. This is investing in your career. $19.99 or $14.99 a month is nothing to connect with your fans. If you really take this seriously and you do all the things that we're telling you to do and you stream out to Twitter, YouTube, man, has an amazing platform, by the way, too. Tons of stuff on YouTube, the actual platform itself. Okay, but there's a lot of cool things you can do with YouTube, and just get on YouTube and research all the cool things that you can do with YouTube. But don't sleep on YouTube. Don't sleep on Twitter, man. Be on all of these things if you can. People are there. So let's say I only had, I don't think I only had like 300 views in the last time I went on Twitter. 300 views is still 300 views. Those are 300 people that will support you. Yes, Kristen. Oh, I thought you were going to say something. So make sure that you're, don't sleep on any of them. But if you're more comfortable starting with IG or Facebook, that's cool too. But respond to your messages. The other day, Ken had us record a shout out to somebody from the Philippines. Some of y'all probably saw the post. Man, that changed that person's life. It didn't take me but a few minutes to do that, Blaze and Ken, but it changed that person's life. Use the audio option when you're sending a message back. Hey, Michael. Hey, Melissa. Thank you so much for sending me that message or sending us that message. I hope you have a great day. Man, that may have taken you 5 seconds, but it may have changed their whole day, their whole week, their whole month. They're going to tell everybody about it. And you have a fan for life, somebody that when your trailer tire flies off, that they're going to be the ones to help you to get back on the road because you took the time, man. You took the time to invest in them. So important, man. And so, or send a video like we talked about. Comments, responding to comments is so, so important, even on your live streams. So not just on a post that you made, but even on your live streams, write people back, even a week later. Like I said, people are going to be watching it on your live stream on the replay. So write those people back, thanks, so-and-so, I appreciate you. And personalize the comments. So if you're writing down, and this is our last part, by the way, but if you're writing down the same thing each time, these people can see the other comments. Like, he just copied and pasted that, or she just copied and pasted that. They weren't writing to me and personalizing this to me. And so make sure that you're personalizing that, even if it's just 4 things you're saying. Okay, well, 4 comments down the way, you're writing something different. And so anyway, I just want to encourage you guys to make sure that you take the time to be personal. And I know that if you have 200 comments or 300 comments, like, that's a lot of comments, but at the same time, it'll take you a few hours. Like, if this is really what you want to do for a living, pay your bills doing this, then all of that stuff matters. Being a rock star is not enough anymore. Being a rock star and being signed to a label is not enough. And so, almost 100% of the people that try to make it in this industry fail. And almost 100% of those that finally get a record deal fail. Only a small percentage of those that are doing this out there are able to make a living. But it's not because they didn't get their big break, okay? It's because a lot of them don't know all the things that it takes to do it, so they don't know to do that. But then those that do know all those things aren't doing them. You got to wake up in the morning and go, dude, I want this. Now, obviously, there are bands out there that can't tour full time and can't even do this full time, and that's cool too. We understand. But if your goal is to make a living at it, these are really, really important things that you need to do. You can't wake up and that's just being in a band is just one part of your job. And y'all know that as well. And so it's important about hyperlinks too, because of the fact that when we send you a link, and I think for almost all of you, we've created a link for almost all of you. So those of you that we haven't created a link for, you may have your bit.ly or you may have your short link or whatever it is. But for the links that we send all of our artists, Jen has created all of those. There's a whole lot of data that we see in real time every day. As a matter of fact, Brooke, we've been sending her daily updates on what's going on. So 2 weeks ago, Brooke had 176 Spotify monthly listeners. She hadn't released her record yet, and there wasn't a lot of stuff. She has a pretty decent following on YouTube. You can go. She's had covers that have had 1 million views and more, 4 million views. But on Spotify, she's a new artist, and so anyway. But there were a lot of different things that played a hand in this. But also on her Facebook. Her Facebook has gone up by over 1,000 in the past week, Jen. So these are real. We're not buying listens or plays or likes, or we're not doing any of that. That stuff, you can do it, and you can get on Fiverr and buy stuff and have all your listeners from Taiwan. But I'm gonna tell you right now, that is not going to equal to one dime. And we can see it on SoundScan. When we can see, man, this person's got 100,000 monthly listeners. No, they don't, because I can look on SoundScan. Well, they may on Spotify, and it may look like that on Spotify, but those aren't the facts. We can look at what you're actually getting paid for, and it hurts you to do that. But building a solid fan base is very, very important. And with Brooke doing all those things, we're seeing a really, really, really solid fan base, but we're also able to see it through the links. All of this stuff working together. We look at every bit of this data every day. That's all we do. Jen, Kristen, and I, and my wife, Lori, we jump on to our morning meetings every single day, and we just go through the data. We screen share, and we go through the data at who's doing what, and we come up with ideas to be able to help you guys. So I appreciate you guys being here. Jen, anything that you want to add?
Yeah, when you do respond to comments and connect with the fans that way, Facebook will push your post to more fans' feed because they see the interaction. So they'll just automatically push that. So that's another reason it's important to respond to comments.
Kristen?
I was just going to say, probably my last thing I'll say, like, I know this is a really tough time for everybody right now, and it's easy to look at this as a very negative thing because in a lot of ways it is. But I would encourage all of you to do the difficult thing and try to find the good in this. This is an incredible opportunity to communicate with your fans and show them that you care and just really build that relationship with them, because like Joe said many times, these will be the fans that will come to your concerts and they're going to buy merch and they're going to remember during that really tough time when they were at a low point too. You sent them a voice message because you know what, you didn't have anything better to do either. And so you happened to go through all of your messages and just send a quick 10-second message to everybody. Maybe that could change somebody's life, potentially save somebody's life. These suicide rates, sadly, are probably going to go up in the next few weeks and months, but you can really, really make a difference with your fans, and it'll benefit you as well. So I would just encourage you to use this time as the blessing in disguise that it might be.
Absolutely. And Spotify, I was just talking about that. Look, Spotify is is an amazing digital streaming platform, right? To a way to reach people. It's messed a lot of us up financially. There's a lot of you here right now that man, it's really messed us up. But it's here, okay? And so we were always taught, at least a few of us older ones in the game here, we were always taught, man, Spotify, don't push people to Spotify. We never pushed anybody to Spotify ever. And I would imagine Glenn, y'all probably didn't push anybody to Spotify either, or Mark. I don't know if y'all were pushing people, like y'all were telling them, man, don't use Spotify. We were all, and so and I know that random heroes say, like, probably a lot of us were like, man. And so it probably hurt us because there were people going, go to our Spotify, and that's like with Blake's like, hit me up on Spotify. Like that's the new thing. But for those of us, we were like, we saw it coming up and we saw how bad it was. But obviously it's a tool that we can use now. And so, but don't get caught up in Spotify, because I'm going to tell you right now, and I was just going through some numbers, and I won't go into Fireflight's numbers, but I'll tell you this. We had a meeting with Fireflight, and we were looking through their numbers. Look, they have amazing Spotify numbers, but a lot of they also have amazing Pandora numbers, and we're seeing artists that are focused on their Spotify numbers, and they're like, man, so and so has this on Spotify. 7 Day Slumber is another perfect example of it. Okay, so 7 Day Slumber has 56,000 monthly monthly listeners on Spotify, and like 58,000 monthly followers. So our monthly followers and our monthly listeners are pretty close to the same. So these are people that are diehards. They love us. They didn't just follow us. They're not just monthly listeners, but they're followers. So anyway, I realize, and some of you guys, I forgot to tell you guys, if some of you got to go, that's cool too. I understand. But I was going to say, look, remember, not everything revolves around Spotify. I've looked at a lot of your numbers, a lot of you that are on here, and a lot of you, I can see what your plays are on Apple Music. We can see what their plays are on Deezer. We can see what your plays are on Pandora. We can see what your plays are on Amazon, Google Play, all of that. And with a lot of you, your plays are just as many on Apple Music as they are on Spotify, but we're focused on Spotify. And then also we're looking at the numbers of other people and we're going, man, hold on, last week, and I don't mean any of our artists, but I mean last week you had X amount of followers. This week you have 100,000 monthly listeners. And then we'll go and we'll check it and we'll go, something ain't stirring the Kool-Aid, man. This person doesn't have like, nah. And sure enough, they're buying it, but it's hurting you. So what I'm saying is don't get caught up when you're talking about, once again, the point I was trying to make with 7 Day Slumber is we have 56,000 monthly listeners, but that may seem low, as it relates to like, let's say Stephen Malcolm. Stephen Malcolm has 300, and Stephen's a great dude. He's been on tour with us just recently. Well, obviously in the middle of our tour, we this thing happened, but Stephen, awesome dude, blowing up with that single, but he has like 300,000 monthly listeners. Or no, maybe it's 200,000. I don't know what it is, but it's more than 7 Day Slumber. And so, but at the end of the day, we had 200,000 last week listen to 7 Day Slumber on Spotify. And I don't even want to get into Fireflight's numbers. Those are weird, crazy numbers that it's hard to really understand the Fireflight's numbers. It's an anomaly. I mean, they have people listening every single week, and it's crazy. But anyway, so don't get too caught up in your Spotify. It's important to push people to Spotify. We want to be pushing people to our digital streaming platforms, but remember that people are listening to you on Apple Music as well. So put an Apple Music link, put a but really what we would encourage you to do is to put the link that we give you, the hyperlink that we give you, because we can see the data in real time of what's going on, and it's a one-stop shop. You're doing it for your fans, and you're also doing it for yourself. So it gives them a place to click on right away, so they're not having to look through a place to find your. I'm going to tell you right now, you will have somebody on there going, man, oh, Zana, this is really awesome. I need to. This is cool. I've never heard of Zana. I need to go check her out. And then they get on Spotify and try to find her, and another person comes up, or they typed it wrong, and they're like, oh, I can't find her. I'll come back to it later. A lot of it's not they don't have the best intentions. A lot of times they just don't come back. They forget. So if you can give them a link that right there, no matter what their streaming platform is, they can use it. It makes it's a courtesy to them, and it's good for you. So anyway, thank you guys for joining us. I keep looking up at the screen because you're all looking at me right now up here, but I should be looking right here. So thank you guys for joining us. We do appreciate it. We love you guys. We've got some really, really big things in store for you. A lot of big things planned. And so I know a lot of you took time out of your night to hang out with us, and it means a lot. So thanks again, man. And thanks to Jen, and thanks to Kristen for working so hard on putting this stuff together. And, we're in meetings every single day, and in webinars and seminars and all kinds of things. We've put a lot of time, and this is just a small piece of kind of a small piece of the marketing aspect. But at the end of the day, live streaming is where it's at right now. And since streams are down, you have a way to drive people to your website, drive people to your Spotify, your Instagram, your everything else. So yeah.
Josh had a question.
Yeah.
Said, I know there's probably no real answer, but what are you guys doing for booking? June is even starting to look rough.
Well, Creation Fest just canceled. And obviously a bunch of other ones are canceling. That's a very, very good question. We have a few of our bookings that have stayed on, but most of them have canceled. So right now we're just looking at August. So I know that's not probably the answer that you want to hear, but we're looking at August. I mean, it's crazy. I don't like to talk numbers very, very much. I talk numbers, but financial numbers. I don't like to but this tour, with the variety tour that we had left, just in shows alone, we had $54,000 left in shows alone. man, that was a big hit. 54 grand in one day gone. And so that's tough. And I know that you guys have bills as well, and y'all had tours planned as well. That's just where we're at right now. I'm hoping that it's sooner, but one thing that we're going to be doing that I would encourage some of you to do as well. I haven't had it. Okay, let me just say this. And I'm going to really be praying hard about this. And I'll be honest, I haven't prayed as much as I should have about this, but the Rockfest tour has not canceled. Not one person has called us and canceled the City Rockfest tour. Or I was going to say Summer Rockfest tour, but it's in the summer, but it's the City Rockfest tour. Not one person. So that tour is still on as far as we know. And I think there's like 20 dates already. And like people ask me all the time about the City Rockfest tour. So I don't know about that, but I can tell you, and that's just for a couple. I don't know who's on that tour. Oh, I guess just Relent at this point, right? But anyway, man, I don't know what's going to happen with it, but I'm already looking at like August, and I'm looking at offering a comeback, tour of some sort, where we're offering amazing prices for these venues. But honestly, I just don't know what to tell you, because I'm in a position where I've put on many tours, and I usually have no problem coming up with a cool idea. Right now, I'm like, man, this is crazy. So I don't know what to say. I'm hoping that by that July and August are still up and running. Does anybody else have any ideas on touring? Have you heard anything else? I think we're probably all in the same boat.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we obviously don't tour that much anymore, but we did for a long time, and we definitely had some tours cancel on us, some shows cancel on us, and stuff like that. I know that this is a way bigger deal than because it's happening to everybody all at once. But the one thing I can say is, I guess from me and Joe being the old dogs in the room, I guess, and doing this for a long time, is that the main thing that you guys need to make sure that you're taking care of. You need to make sure you're taking care of your fans, and that you're in constant contact with your fans. And I don't mean just all the time. And I see young artists doing this all the time when the tour gets canceled or shows get canceled or the bus breaks down or whatever happens, and they start, please buy our merch, please buy our CD, please go to a GoFundMe or whatever. And that's all good, fine and good, and that's necessary. But from my perspective, if you guys want to play the long game, you guys need to make sure that you're taking care of your fans first, because it's those fans that are just always asking for handouts and asking to buy merch, and every single post is buy something or give something. Those are the ones that you kind of see going. I mean, they might be hot for a quick second, but after that, they kind of start to fade away because people get real tired of that. And people want to be known. They want to be in community with you. They want, they want you to think that they matter. So if there's anything that kind of wisdom I can say in this time of just a lull, is just making sure that you're just in constant contact with your fans and making sure that they know that you think that they're important.
Absolutely. And remember that we're available to all of you guys. And while I may not have an answer for touring, none of us do. The President of the United States, with all of the people around him, doesn't have an answer as to when the doors are going to open for everybody. So I don't either. But I know that we have an amazing opportunity through live streams and all the different avenues that you have, and you have an amazing team you have Jen here, you have Kristen, you have myself, you have an amazing team of people that come up with ideas that, you know, that can really help you. And some of you have worked with us on those ideas, and we've helped you to really, you know, even if it was just for a time, even if it was just for the release or for whatever, you know, that we have things. And remember, it is all about doing these things. If you do all of these things that we are, all this tips and tricks and, you know, whatever, if you do this, I promise you it'll work. It'll work. But you have to be consistent. You can't come on and do it for and then never talk to anybody for another 3 months again. Like, you got to be consistent. But if you were consistently doing this, every little thing adds up. I just watched a movie the other day about it was a basketball. Ben Affleck was in the movie. I don't know if any of y'all saw it, where he was a coach. And it was a really cool movie. But anyway, he was talking about how every little thing matters. The defense, a guy just putting a shoulder here, or a steal here, or whatever. But all those little things at the end of the game mattered. And that's what changed the game for a lot of these players. So that's what I want to say to you as well, is like, all these little things, every single one of these little things matters. And I don't, you know, I don't claim to have the best music out there. I mean, 7 Day Slumber, I feel like we put out good records. I feel like people love our records, but people know us. They feel like they know us, you know, and they like Glenn was talking about, they feel like they have community with us. They're you know, they have a relationship with us. And so over all these years, even when a lot of you knew I was going through a really tough time, and a lot of you have seen me in those bad times, thank God I'm not there anymore. And I appreciate all of you that prayed for me when I was struggling with it, especially in terms of alcohol. You know, I never expected that to happen to me, but it did. And so I thank God that I'm out of that now, and it's amazing. But even through that, and I feel healthier. I feel like I look healthier. As a matter of fact, I go through, and a lot of you, didn't say anything, but you knew I was looking rough and it was bad and everything. But even through that, our fans stayed and supported us. And I mean, they saw me put on all this weight. They saw me look rough on camera. They saw me on live. I mean, they saw me live and on live, but they stayed because they know that I genuinely care about them. And so I know you guys do too. So I just wanted to go ahead and reiterate what Glenn was saying. Like, man, we care about these people. They're you know, some of us were them, you know, and someone helped us and said something that changed our life. So yeah, man, I love you. Anybody else got anything they want to say?
Susie had a question, and this can kind of go for everybody. She asked if she said, can we get these slides and notes in an email just to refer back to? If anybody wants, I can just put it into a Word document, and I can just send you the main points. So I can just send you that outline. If you want to, you can either send me a text or an email or whatever. Just let me know that you want it, and I can get it to you.
Yeah, definitely. And anything that you're looking for, to, once again, I've spent a bunch of money on stuff that did not work. Like, I hate to even say that. It's embarrassing. Like, I have a whole bag full of stuff that, from lights to microphones, that sucked. And I spent money on them, and it's like, I spent all this money, and so I know what's working and what's not working. So just, if you guys are looking to do something, and you're looking for some, like, okay, I want to be up and running real quick, dude, send me a link to the microphone, or send me a link to the lighting, or send me a link to I use some moment lenses. I'm not using those right now. Right now I'm just using a webcam. But lighting can change a webcam. Lighting can change the whole situation. You know what I mean? But anyway, I'll send you a link if you want anything. Remember, the streaming platforms too are really, really important. Ecamm Live is what I use when you see the lower thirds down there. But on Ecamm Live, you can also do some really amazing things, like play a video, play screen share to all your fans when you're going live. So remember, guys, that check out some of those streaming softwares. I'm not real familiar with StreamYard, but I hear that's a new one coming up. Restream.io is really good. But Ecamm Live is a software that will allow you to use Restream.io, and it'll allow you to stream to all these different places. So make sure that you're checking out some of those different softwares that you can go live on. Streamlab is another one, by the way. I didn't tell you, but Streamlab streams to Twitter, and it streams to YouTube. So Streamlab, if you're just planning on streaming to Twitter and YouTube, but if you're going to do that, you may as well just use Restream.io, which streams to all of it, and there's a free version of it that you can use, and it's tried and true. It works. Twitch right now is, I would encourage you to open up a Twitch account if you know, I don't know if you do any, how many of you do any gaming. I'm horrible at gaming, but some of you may be into gaming, and fans may want to connect with you there. But also there are bands that are just going live on Twitch. So that's another, and since Bands in Town is partnered with Twitch, you can now send a big blast out to all of your monthly, I mean, some of you can, have many of you guys been keeping up with how many monthly trackers you have, or trackers that you have, not monthly trackers, but trackers? Yeah. So you guys all know that some of you've got a pretty big amount of trackers. Like, dude, make sure you're sending messages to them as well. Don't send one like every day, but you can send a message to all your trackers and just say, hey guys, just want to let you know, we're thinking about you. Stay strong. If you need anything, hit us up on Facebook or Instagram. You can send that, and it'll go to all of your trackers, you know. And so
you do that, really, it actually goes on, they get a notification on their phone, like on their screen right away. So then they're notified immediately that you, which is.
Yeah. And Jen, I put one up, and I forgot that Jen is on that, but I put one up, and she got a notification from 7 Day Slumber, and I don't even know what I said, but something like, you can put a picture on there, like shouts out, got a new record out, or whatever, dude. You can put a link, and that, just use every bit of what you have, even if your followers is not. Look, I'm going to tell you that even bands that don't have a lot of followers, if you don't have a bunch of followers on Facebook or whatever on Facebook, dude, that's okay. Do your live stream as if there were 1,000 people watching you live, because you can then boost that live and target an audience. And if you need help targeting audiences, we kill the game with that. And that's something that that Kristen, Jen, and I have really spent a lot of time in doing, especially like I said, even we did that with Random Heroes album release, but also with Brooke's release right now. She's at 40,000 views on her in a week, 40,000 views on her Facebook video that we put up, which you guys can't see because it's an ad, but eventually it'll be a post. And so her video has 40,000, but we targeted the audience. So if you need help in targeting audiences or that kind of thing, it's more than just a boost. Make sure you're targeting your audiences. But remember, if you go live, you can later down the road target audiences, and they can see it. So that's why it's so important to start right away with a really cool song or some really cool content, because if you want to use it later as an ad to target people or do a boost, then you have that content available right there. Yeah. Anybody else? Cool. Well, guys, thanks again for being on here. Jen, Kristen, once again, I appreciate you so much. I know how hard you guys work every day. And I do appreciate that. Speaking of working, as soon as this is over, let's hop back on the admin and just 15 minutes there, and just to, have a quick discussion. Thank you, guys. God bless y'all. Talk to you later.
See you, Joe.